Good morning everybody, welcome to Carnation Crafts TV. Today we have a brand new launch for you. We are looking at the Getting Cosy collection. This is such a lovely collection. You've got stamps included in here as well. Now we're going to start off, these are your card bases, they can be matte and layers. But because of the way that these have been designed, I'm going to flip them around so you can see, because you've got so much in here. Look at these. You have got so many possibilities of how you pop these together. Janine has done the samples with these and you'll see, I think every single card is different that she's done. There's so many different ways that you can put these together. You've got your 3 different shapes there as well, but you've got almost like the little home of where the animals might be living, which is so cute. You've got the foliage in there as well to decorate. Then you've also got your cozy friends as well. Look at these. Look at them. They are so cute. They're lovely size as well. Obviously they do coordinate with the card shapes beautifully. You've got the mats there for them as well. So if you want to bring them to the focus of your cards, you can absolutely do that. But you've got your 3 characters in there, which is so cute. But then you've also got your stamps in here as well. So you've got an array there of different sentiments that you can use. They are lovely sentiments as well. I will go through them on the board so you can see exactly what they say, but you will see them when we go through the samples as well. So let's show you some of the samples so you can see how they've been used. Look there. So you can see there with the oval. Now this one's been matted and layered to come to the front. And then you can see then you can add layers in the center to give you that aperture effect to pop the little friends in. How cute is that? And then I've got another one here using that oval again. But can you see the differences that you can use with these? Really cute. Now you've got small layers in here as well that you can add in that I'll point them out if I see them on some of the samples, but obviously I will show you when we get to the boards. You can even use those center apertures on their own as well. So if you've got other card shapes, you can bring in, so you can see that, and it even gives you, look, those detailed cut lines around there as well to add that texture in to your project. And then look at that. How cute is that? So cute. So many different ways that you can pop these together. Then we've got the rectangle as well, almost like your DL. That is adorable, isn't it? And you have also got another one here as well. Look at that one. And you can see they're bringing that aperture in. So other card shapes you can use these with as well, and they're going to add that little aperture into the center, and then you can decorate around the edges. You could use the mats and layers. There's so many different ways that you can put these together. Right, I'm going to grab the boards so you can see exactly what you are going to be getting. Let's move them. Right, so we'll start off with our cozy friends. Look at him. He's so cute, isn't he? He's like rolled up on his back. So cute. So you can see that. I mean, just look at them. Look how detailed they are. And again, something you can use with other collections you have as well. These are just so usable with so many collections. All of your scene building elements, you're going to be able to bring these in. They're great little fillers as well, but they can be the focal point of the card as well. Right, then you've got your stamps. Okay, so this is your stamp set. I love the way the Carnation do their stamps. I love that they put like different font in the same sentiment. I think it looks really lovely. But you've got lovely, you know, crisp air and cozy moments. A season full of magic. Leaves are falling, autumn is calling. Sending you warmth and joy. Home is where the heart is. So you've got a lovely array of different sentiments there. Different sizes, different occasions there. You can see you've got good luck, thank you for everything, congratulations, well done, to a lovely friend, thinking of you, happy birthday, all my love, just to say. So you've got some lovely sentiments, again, that you can use with other collections. I always keep my stamps, even the ones from Clean and Simple, I keep those out separate because I will use them with other collections too, and that's a great one to mix up. Right, then we go on to the cards. Now I've used these as card bases, I think, in all the demos. I think almost all the ones I just showed you were as cards as well. So in these, you've got what I'd say is your biggest cut first of all. So this is the one that you could use for your card bases. So you've got that in the 3 sizes. Now these aren't matiniers like we think of matiniers. So these purple ones are actually the thinnest frames. So to get a matinier, I don't know if we'd get a matinier that thin in die form, because obviously you have to leave X amount of space in between each die. But they are actually little frames. So what you can do is when they cut, they will cut with that layer, and then you can cut them again like this in a different cardstock and pop them in, and they give you that effect of matiniers, but it is super, super thin. So you get such a lovely effect. You've got the matiniers in the center, look, with those textured cut lines as well. You can see going around the edge. So it really does add that texture into your cards and around the edges of the card as well. But you've also got your foliage, which I absolutely love. Really, really lovely. Really lovely to use. So you can see that. So you're getting a lot in there. Now the show price on this is $59.99. It will go back up at midnight tonight. It's item number 251021, and you are in your free P&P mark for that as well. So if you want to have a look on the website, if you need some glue, some cut tidy, some pro print, anything you need, take advantage of your free P&P basket, because you have got that in with that order. Don't forget you have got the QR code there as well, or you can just type in Getting Cosy collection on the website and it should pop straight up. You can be downloading now, and then hopefully if you do place your order will probably be on its way to you today. We get so many messages saying that people get their orders the next day, which is amazing. So yeah, you can download the artwork free of charge now to go with this. Right, let's jump into a demo. Now I'm going to start off with the oval design. So like I said, this is going to be the largest one that you get, and then you have got all of the options of how you want to pop these together. So you could pop this on, and then you could cut the other side, the smaller sizes up, and just mat and layer them on top. You can go backwards. There's so many different ways that you can do these. So I'm going to start off with this one, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on the top of here, because I'm going to make this the base. So that is going to go on there, and then you can see I've already popped the aperture in the center there. And then before we do anything else, I'm going to pop him in there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Look at him. Isn't he so cute? So we're going to pop a little bit of glue. And then we're going to pop him in there like that. How cute is that? That's so cute. Right, so we've got him in his little home, peeking out. So we're going to go on to the next layer then. So this one, I think this one's the same size. Yeah, so this one's the same size, but then I've added in the bigger layer in the aperture bit in the center. So we're just making the matte layers in the center bit pop out a little bit more. So just pull these foam pads off. Do not want to come off. Right, so that is going to go there like that. So I'm just adding that depth now in that center bit. And then the next one, which is the biggest one, you can see you've got that texture in the die where it adds in all those lovely cut lines there. And obviously you've got it around the edge as well. Now I've just gone over those cut lines with a little bit of ink just to make those pop a little bit more. And then we're going to pop that on there like that. So if you wanted to now, so you can see, look, you've got that depth in the center. So if you wanted to, you could absolutely leave that now like that, and that could be your card. And obviously we could have done it the other way as well, where you've done the matte layers coming out and then you could have him at the front. Now what I've done is I've carried on, so I've cut out another one of these, and then I've gone in with the matte layers to again make that aperture shape. So this is going to sit there like that now. Okay, so let's add this in. I just think it will work with so many. I mean, think of the characters. You could even use these like with the mice. There's so many different characters that you can build this up with. This tape is very static, and I'm finding out, so am I. It wants to stick to me. Right, so I'm going to pop that one on there like that, and then we're going to go in with another layer that is going to go on there like that. So we're really building this up now. But obviously you could do this the other way. And don't forget as well, everything that I'm doing now, even though I'm using the oval, you could do the same with the arch or with the rectangle as well, because the three of them are exactly the same. So you could do this type of card with the three of them, which is really nice actually. It's not often that you say, oh well, you've got 3 card bases in one die set. Have the 3 different shapes included. It's very nice, and they're lovely size as well, considering you've got 3 of them in there. Right, so this is going to sit on there like that. So again, I'm just adding in those layers, and then I've got one more that is going to sit there like that. So you can see now how you can really add a lot of dimension into these. So I'm just going to pop these off. You can use your pin flare as well. I prefer to use foam tape or a foam pad if I'm doing matte layers, because I haven't got the patience to wait for them to dry, and then I'll end up putting things on top of it and squishing it back down. So I prefer to use foam tape or pads for my layers, and then I'll use my pin flare then for things on top. This tape really wants to stick to me. Right. This is going to go on there. Now before we've done anything, look at that. Look at him. He proper looks like he's like cozy and cuddled in there, doesn't he? So cute. So you've got all of those. Now all I've done is just use the matte layers that are there. So your ovals, you've got all of them in there ready for you. So we've done that. And now we're going to go in and obviously decorate. So let's grab some of the I absolutely love this foliage. I think it looks so realistic, really pretty. Love the different colours that you've got in the leaves as well. So I've got a couple of these. So you've got some elements you can see that are kind of designed that they're on the floor. And then you've got the branches as well then. So you can see you've got them there, and you've got them going in different directions as well. Now you do have the decoupage as well, so that will just sit on top of there. So again, adding more dimension into your projects. So let's get our glue. And then let's start building this up. Now these, I'm going to pop these along the bottom, so they look as if they're just on the bottom of the oval. And then I'm just going to give them a little bit of shape as well. And I'm going to slightly overlap this one like that. And then you've got your decoupage pieces then that we can add in. So again, just add a little bit of glue, build these up. And then I like the look of overlap in them because obviously it just looks like there's leaves behind it, which is what it would look like anyway. But that, I think that looks so pretty just like that. The leaves really stand out as well with that little character in there. So cute. Right, and pop that on there. So we've got our base, and then all I'm going to do then, right before I do that, we've got our badger. How cute. Isn't he so cute? I say cute, I imagine him talking with like an old man's voice. Aunt Bunny agrees with me as well. I don't know what it is. Oh, is there? Bunny's saying she's thinking of Narnia because there's a badger in there. Yeah, it's you see a badger and it's like, I don't know, it's like he looks after the forest, doesn't he? It's like a wise badger. Yeah. Right, so we're going to pop him in. So he is going to go on the outside there like that. So let's put some pin flare on there. What would you name him, Bunny? Oh, she's thinking about it. Bernard. Bernard. Do you know what you just made me think of? No. Oh, you're not going to remember it. There was I do not. There was a program. Do you remember Bodger the Badger? I told you. That's what you've just made me think of. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like a kids program, and I'm sure it was called Bodger the Badger. I'm saying that now. There's probably somebody shouting at the screen, going, "No, it wasn't. It's something else." I'm sure it was called. Yeah, it was a badger, and I'm sure that's what his name was, Bodger, and that's what you just made me think of it now. Right, now I've got stamped on here, fall is in the air. So you can see now these ovals are included in the set as well. So I've just cut 2 of them out. So you've got your mat there. And then we've got that, which is just going to sit there on top. And so we've got that on there. And then I'm going to bring in this foliage. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of shape. And we're going to just tack this in, come in around the badger. So just bringing this up, so this just carries on. Oh, yes! Oh, Stacey's just messaged in saying mashed potato. That's yeah, Bunny hasn't got a clue what we're on about. All I just heard was Bunny say, I don't know if this means anything, but somebody's just messaged in saying mashed potato. Yeah, so he was a badger, and he was obsessed with mashed potato. This sounds like the most bizarre program, trying to explain it to Bunny. But yeah, it was a children's, no, it was a children's program. But yeah, it was, like a man had a pet badger and he was obsessed with mashed potato. Oh, well, I'm glad somebody else remembers. Thank you, Stacey, for messaging in. Yeah, I was confusing myself then, thinking, am I thinking of the right thing? Right, so we've got that there. Now, the other thing that I was going to add in, but I might leave it off, was the squirrel. Now, the squirrel comes to like that, so you can see with his tail. Now, I've cut it off because I wanted him to go on this side to kind of even it out a bit. So what I've done is obviously I've snipped away his tail, and I'm going to pop him there like that, so he looks as if he's tucked in to those leaves. And then his tail, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on, and then all I'm going to do, because if his tail was on there now, I felt like it went into that arch too much. So I'm just going to tuck that kind of, so it's just a little bit behind him. So it's not kind of going into that center point, but it's still in the frame. And then you've got, ooh, look. I just love him, like tucked away in there. Look how deep that is as well. You can get so much depth on these. Look. He's just so cute. With his, like, you can see his little, all you can see is his little hands and his little feet. Aww. So there we go. Right, let's just remind you quickly of everything that you are going to get. So it is the Getting Cosy collection. So you are going to get those card bases that you can see there. You're also going to be getting the Cozy Friends, which are those adorable animals that we've just used. And you're also going to get those sentiments in there as well, which are so useful in their own right. You can mix them up in so many different ways. We are approaching 15%, Bunny's just told me, of the stock has nearly gone. So you are enjoying this as much as we are. I think it's just such a lovely collection. It's so adorable, and yeah, makes you think of childhood memories. I am quickly just going to give you a heads up. Obviously, with this collection, you are in your free P&P mark, so you will get free P&P with this. But with things obviously as they are, on Friday, the standard P&P price is going to go up to $3.95. But that is on Friday, okay? So if there is something that you've maybe kept your eye on the website, or something that you need to stock up on your pro print or anything at all, try and get the order in before Friday. But it's just a little heads up that it is going to go up to $3.95 on Friday. Right, let's make another card. Now this one we're going to use that lovely arch. I really like this. I think it's such a pretty one, and the detail on the top as well. I think you could use this for so many different occasions as well. You could really mix this up. Different colorways is going to look completely different. So I am going to use the arch as my base for my card. So we're just going to glue the top of this to make the card base. So that is going to go there. So we've got the base to start off with. Right, now this one, I'm going to show you what I mean by those thin elements. So I'm gonna glue this one down first. So your next layer, so those ones that are in the center, that is going to go on there. So I'm going to glue this one down flat, and then I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to get a blob of glue on there. Right, let me grab one of the glue applicators. Right, and then when you cut these, like I said, you will get that thin layer. Now you won't be able to get a layer this thin if you were using nesting dies. So your matte layer, obviously every layer needs X amount of space in between each one. You would not be able to get it that thin. That is just going to sit there. And now that gives you that illusion of a matte and a layer. It could be a shadow. It looks really, really lovely. Now again, mix this up in different colorways as well. It's going to look completely different. So what we're going to do is pop that on next. So I'm just going to grab some glue and just put a little bit of glue around here. I'm putting glue on you, Bunny, and all I can hear in my head is the theme tune to Bodger and Badger. I'm just so glad I got the name right. If you Google it, Bunny, honestly, I think you'd be quite shocked. Bodger and Badger? Bodger and Badger. Or maybe... What? Maybe... Or maybe the man was called Bodger. Or was it Bodger the Badger? Oh, I don't know. Bodger and Badger. Oh, maybe... Oh. Oh, I don't know which one was which. I told you you wouldn't remember it. When I said it, Bunny was like, oh, I might know it. I'm older than I look, you know. And then I said it, she was like, no, no clue. Right, so we've got that there. So can you see now how that gives you such a lovely effect of a matte layer, so thin, but yet you've just used those elements that were on there ready for you. Now I'm just going to grab a bit of foam tape to go along here. So let's pop that on there. And we'll get another one. Oh, I could, no. There. So let's pop this on. So you can do the same thing. So them ones now we've glued in. So this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on with some tape. Like that. And then I've got the layer to go on there like that. So this is going to give you almost like another layer in, because this is going to go down flat, but then that layer is going to be lifted from the foam. So there's so many different ways of using this. Obviously you could do this as well, go in inwards like we did with the other card, with the oval. So it's just showing different ways of how you can pop these together, because they really are those dies that you look at, and it's almost like when you cut them out and you start seeing them how they are when they're cut out, you think, oh, actually if I pop that bit in there, it's going to look completely different, or if I left this bit off there, that's going to give it a completely different look as well. So let's add that in. So just push that in, make sure that's down. There you go. So you've got another layer. Now already that looks so dimensional when actually we've just got one layer of foam tape on there, but look at that, really, really effective. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So let's have that on foam. Let's get some tape. Raise this one up as well, because why not? So let's add that in. So that is going to go on there, and then let's do the same thing again. So we'll add this one with some glue. The other thing you could do if you wanted to keep these together is cut them out with, so you can put like tape on the back, and then this will stay in then if you wanted to add it in. But it's great for paper piecing or adding different colorways. Really think, even I think use that on its own on like a DL card. And you could just add in these on their own and decorate the center of these, would look really cute as well. Right, so just add a little bit of glue around the edge, make sure I've got that nice and covered, because it is a thin area, and then pop that one on there. Like that. So now that looks as if I've got so many different layers in there, which I do, but it gives you the illusion of a lot more than what's actually in there. So you can see So you can see, look, it's only 2 layers of tape, but that looks as if you've added in so many more just with that thin layer there. So really, really effective. So you do have, and those thin layers, you have those in the arch, the oval, and the rectangle as well. So you do have them. You can do this in every style. And then our last one we've got is this one, which is going to sit on there. And this is that lovely one that gives you that lovely cut design. So you can see there. So it's like, this is his little home. So let's pop this on. So I'm just going to pop this on with a little bit of glue. There you go. So add that in. So that's just going to sit on there like that. Right, and then for this one, we're going to decorate. Now, in the 1 o'clock show, we have the Floral Whispers show, which has a recolor. Now, I've got some elements here that I'm going to mix in with this from that, because these obviously work hand in hand together. Now we're going to bring in, so you can see some of these, that's where they've come from if you're wondering, or if you missed that collection first time round, that will be on later. So I'm going to bring in that, and I'm just going to have that slightly coming off of the card, and then this is going to sit there. So that is going to go on there like that, and then we're going to bring, look, is his little hands and his feet, it is just so cute, and you don't see them like that either. Do you know what I mean? You never see them like curled up like that. It's so cute. Right, let's add a bit of glue on him. And let's pop him. So he's going to go there for a minute. And then what we're going to do is, so these bits that I was showing you now from the Getting Cosy collection are the ones that we just used to go across the floor. So like this bit's the decoupage, but equally you could use that completely on its own. That doesn't look out of place there on its own, even though that is the decoupage piece. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to use this bit along the floor there. So this is just going to ground that part. So that is going to go there, like that. And then this bit, we're going to tuck that in there like that with him. So it looks as if some of those leaves have kind of just fallen on top of there as well. So use your decoupage, I always say it, but use your decoupage on their own as well, because 9 times out of 10 with carnation, you can absolutely do that. You don't have to use it as decoupage at all. That's going to just tuck in there like that. So he looks as if he's nice and cozy now, tucked in there. And then what we're going to do next is, I've got some elements that, so I've got these little foliage bits, which are from the Floral Whispers, and then we're going to bring in some of the foliage from the Getting Cosy as well. So I'm just going to add these up, and all I'm doing essentially is, do we want that one? Let's add this one first. Is I'm going to just build up around this arch now. So I'm just going to add in a bit of glue on here. Oh, have we had any other name suggestions? We need some name suggestions. That's what we need. Oh, Pam's messaged us as well, since she's tuned in. Morning, Pam. Oh, so Pam messaged saying good morning. Morning, Pam, and saying an early start for me and Bunny today, and Janine's samples look stunning. Oh, thank you, Pam. It is an early start for us today. It's just because we just couldn't wait to bring you this collection. So I'm just building this up. So just add a little bit of glue on there, and then I'm going to bring in these leaves, which I love these. I love the colours as well, it's so pretty. And then just tuck one in there like that. And that one there. And then I'll put this one in here as well. And then for the sentiment, I've used in the 12 in the 1 o'clock show, we have, I can't remember what these are called, but obviously I will show it to you in that show. No, Bunny can't remember, I can't remember either. But you get two of them. You get like a rectangle and this diamond shape. They are perfect for sentiments because you've got that almost like that lattice design that comes off them. So they just fit in to your cards really lovely because of that little design. And then I've stamped Leaves Are Falling, Autumn Is Calling on there from the stamp set that you're going to get in the collection as well. So that is going to sit on there. And then let's pop that. Should I go there or there? Only saying up, let's go up. Lattice labels, that's what they're called. So you do get two in there, but they're so nice. Can you see how the design, it just kind of brings everything together, so it doesn't stand out, it just works with your card. So now if I pop that up, look, oh, they're just so cute. They are absolutely adorable, but they're so detailed as well. But you can see there now, that one we've used those thin layers that you get, those thin, almost like frames really, not layers, that you get in between each one. But the difference now with that one going out and then that one going in, because you could do that same design with each of them, it's just showing you a different effect of which way you can use them. So there's so many different ways to bring these together. They look so good. I'll grab the samples so we can go through them again, because that gives you a lovely idea of how they come together. So you can see this one here, and this one's actually used, so you can see you've got one of those thin layers going around the edge there. You can see they're using the oval. They look different in different colourways as well, do you know, because of the detail on them there. Like I instantly went to like browns and stuff because it made me think of like wood, like a tree. Yeah, but like that in cream and pink, you know, they just look so lovely, don't they? And you can see bringing in other collections as well. Do you know what? I reckon you could make them Christmassy. That's going to be, do you know the craft alongs, and we were saying that we should do them like fun, and we were getting people to like message in different dyes and stuff. That's what we should do one day, Bunny. We'll do like a bunny challenge of like, you can pick the dyes and I'll see if I can make them Christmassy. I'll see if I can make a Christmas card out of certain dyes, and I'll see if I can make them Christmassy. I feel like that's our thing now of like, oh, can you make it Christmassy? But look at that. That's a lovely way of using them as well. You can see they're using then those centre bits for the stopper there. But it does, Bunny's just said that looks more summery, which it does look more summery. You could even, yeah, take away the leaves so you didn't have that. That does, doesn't it? It looks really summery, spring, summer, and you could mix them up like that as well. You could mix, oh, you could have them so it's like with the Easter bunny. An egg hunt, yeah, think of those different collections that you've got at home, because this is such a lovely one that would just fit into so many collections that you'll already have. Like you can see there, that one's using those apertures in the center, but with a you know, you could be using that with a normal size card, so you could make it bigger, make these bigger as well if you wanted to, or those could be matte layers onto a bigger card if you wanted to make a bigger card again. And then look at that. That makes me think wedding easy. Do you know, if you took away like the orange bits, you know, because it's just the flowers and obviously the arch, you could have the bride and the groom in there and just decorate them with flowers, couldn't you? Really, really pretty. But you can see there's so many different ways of using them. You can mix and match them up in lots of different ways. You can see more samples there as well. They just work so well. Like we said, lots of different ways that you can use them for different occasions, and lots of ways to actually pop these together too. Right, I'm gonna grab another card. Right, let's right, so we're going to use the rectangle one for this one. So I've cut two out, and I've used our new hammered cardstock, which I love this. I didn't know about it until like the other week, and Bunny told me, and then I pinched it, and then I stole it. And well, technically I didn't steal it because I'm bringing it back. Yeah. So yeah, I've been using it a lot. So you can see that for me, it's more like an expensive watercolor card. You can really see the like hills and valleys in there. You can see that texture. It's absolutely stunning cardstock. It's a lovely weight as well. And you can see it's still die cut perfectly, even though you've got that texture in there. Right, so we've got that on there. And then I've already glued this to make sure I didn't damage that frame. So like I showed you with the last one, you can see this is flat, but that looks as if I've got mats and layers on there. So I've got the thicker layer there in the craft card, and then that thin strip, that frame is in white with the next layer in there. So it gives you the illusion of mats and layers, and it does really stand out. But that's just, well, it's two pieces of card, but they're flat, they're glued together. But how effective does that look? Really gives you the illusion of more mats and layers in there. And then we've done the outside frame, and I've added in that larger die. So that is going to sit there, almost giving us that frame. So I'm going to add, I don't think that foam tape is going to, I think that foam tape is going to be too thick. Right, let's, oh, it's just about the right size. We're okay, we're okay. Right, let's pop these on here. Oh, Jackie has messaged us on YouTube. Oh, and she said that this collection is so adorable, and are the flowers included in this set? So I'm going to guess that you mean the flowers that we showed you on some of the samples. Everything that you can see that obviously we haven't showed you on the boards and this included in the dies are from Floral Whispers, which is the 1 o'clock show. So that's why you can see some of those on there. So if there's anything that you see in, like the one that I just did, so like the foliage there in the back, the frame, the flower pot and that grass, like these flowers, they're all from Floral Whisper, which is on later on today. Oh, Amelia has messaged us as well saying good morning. Morning, Amelia. It's a beautiful autumn collection. Oh, and she said, so nice to have you live, something to look forward to. Oh, thank you, Amelia. That's such a lovely message. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. And then Bunny's just told me, you'll be pleased to know that people have been commenting about Bodger the Badger. I am pleased to know. Chaz? Oh, so Chaz's message saying it was Bodger the Badger, and she thinks that the dog was called Bodger. I can't remember a dog. Oh, is there? Oh, Bunny's saying there was a dog picture when she Googled. Oh, I'll have to have a look. I can't remember a dog. I just remember like the man and the badger. I can't remember the dog. Maybe he was just called Badger then. Yeah, I'll make Bunny watch an episode in between the shows. So on the next show, she will be the Bodger the Badger expert. She's very excited. Right, so we've got that. Now those dies. I'm going to just grab the die for a minute, so you can see. So you've got those elements on the inside. You can move these around as well, so you can see that. So these are the elements that you can use to make that aperture in the center. Now there's nothing wrong with you mixing these up either. Like if you wanted this one on here, you could absolutely do that. Now this is the one I've used here. And then all I've done is when I've put it in, I've just put it in at an angle. So instead of having it coming straight down, I've just turned it so that it's off at that angle. Because I thought that worked well. And then we're going to pop him. So he's like kind of coming out of there like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on there. And a little bit on that side. And then I'm just going to tuck him in there like that. So I'm leaving a bit of a gap. So that's going to go there like that. And then let me move that. Let's add a bit of foam on the back of there. Raise this bit up. It's funny how like crafting will make you think of like I can't remember the last time I thought of that program, but no, obviously, yeah, it makes you think of like different things and things you might have forgotten, like different memories and things. Yeah, everybody thinks of different things. I think that's the nice thing with crafting though, and it's the same when you're card making. You know, it's like. When I get a collection for the first time, I'll instantly think of a card in my head and think, oh, right, this is what I'm going to do first. But then to somebody else, you might think of something completely different. You know, we all inspire each other, don't we? Which I think is what's lovely about card making. Right, so he is going to just sit there in the middle of that now. And that looks... I think that looks so crisp and dimensional when actually it really isn't. But it gives you that illusion. So lovely. Right, now we're going to add in lots of different elements in here now. So I've got that foliage. This is going to sit on the bottom there like that. So let's grab some pin flour. So we're going to bring that in there. And then I've got different elements here, so let's mix these up a bit. This is gonna go tiny bit on the back of that. So this is gonna sit there like that. And this is gonna go on the other side, so I'm gonna kind of just build these up. But there's just so much. I love a collection that I instantly think of that you could use with other collections, because you will get so much more use sort of. That's one of the lovely things about Carnation, you know, all of their collections work together, so you do get more use out of it. It's not a, oh well, that's a nice collection, but I can only use it at that time. You can still mix them up and work them in different ways. So let's add some glue on there. I'm going to tuck these in. And then I've got these little birds, which are absolutely adorable. So we're going to bring these in. So I'm going to put one here like that. Add that in. Add this decoupage piece in. And then we've got another one. So let's just add him in there. Like that. And then I've got that sentiment again. So this one I've put in, it's the little things. So you can see we've stamped that there. So a lovely sentiment that you've got on that stamp set. Put a little bit of tape on the back of that one. So that is just going to go on there like that. And then we'll pop that on the top of there. Like that. So we've got that there. There you go. So we've got. So again, think of the other collections that you've got, because they're going to work with these so well. If you break it down, you've got your card bases here that you can use, like I said, in so many different ways. So we've got, and just to show you, so that was the rectangle. You've got the oval and the arch in there as well. So you've got different ways of using them. I've used that little hedgehog on each one. He's like, you can just tuck him into like anything, can't you? But you can have the, like, obviously the badger or the squirrel coming out. You can add them in as well. You know, never be afraid to add, like, you could easily add that on there. And that fits really well actually, doesn't it? You can just pop that on there, or pop the badger. They just work so well, don't they? You can just add them in, and it doesn't take away from anything at all. You can just add them in, and it just adds more detail in for you. Really, really lovely. I'm gonna grab the boards so you can see what each one looks like. So you can see our adorable animals to start off with. So you've got your cozy friends. They're just so lovely. The detail on them, like his little hands, you see that the glossiness in their eyes. They are absolutely adorable. So much character to them. They look really lovely. Again, something to mix in with your other collections too. Then you've got your stamps, which I love that you've got stamps in here. I think it's such a lovely one. And you've got really nice sentiments in here that go with the theme of autumn, but you've got ones in here as well that you can use all year round. So it's a really nice mix in there. The font is lovely. They're a lovely size as well. You know, you've got things like, it's the little things, well done, to a lovely friend, thinking of you, just to say congratulations, thank you for everything. But then you've also got things like a season full of magic, crisp air and cozy moments. It's time to sit back and relax. Leaves are falling, autumn is calling. So you've got lovely sentiments there to mix in. Like I said, lovely size as well. Keep them out. You will use those all year round. And then you've got those card shapes. Now, like you can see, you've got your three, you've got your oval, your arch, and your rectangle. You've got those thin frames as well to go around. You've also got those aperture parts in the center as well. Now, like we showed you with some of the samples, you could use them on the card like we just did. So you could use it in the center of your card. You could just use those frames, or you could use everything together and make it really dimensional as well. So you've got so many different ways that you can actually use these and bring these together. Also your foliage as well, which you do have the artwork for that as well. So don't forget to go onto the website and download your artwork now free of charge. You can be printing off ready for your dies to arrive. That does bring us to the end of our first show. Me and Bunny will be back at 11 and we will be doing the same again. So if you want to come back for some more inspiration, then hopefully we will see you then.